Welcome to this video. Perhaps you have heard many times about serverless auto-scaling, pay only for consumption. But where to make a start, how to get hands-on, build a working app quickly, how to run it in the cloud with low cost, or deploy to anywhere it's needed. The good news is that it's not hard to do. In this video series, we will go through a complete end-to-end process. We will use free, open-source, cross-platform tools to construct code projects from scratch, build them step by step. We will demonstrate how different components, front-end, back-end, and database are joined together. Also, how they can be decoupled. Hopefully, it will be your choice to use what technology, framework, or programming language suitable to you. We will get the app up and running on Azure. Its operating cost could be very low, depends on the consumption. It will be serverless. No single server is required for the deployment. No need for us to manage infrastructure. Auto-scaling is provided by the backend. It scales up to meet massive scale dynamically when it is needed. We don't need to worry about scaling or write code to handle it. We pay for consumption or usage, cut costs during off-peak hours. All sounds great. However, we may need to deploy apps to different environments, on-premises, other cloud platforms, or even multiple clouds. We will explore the possibility and briefly demonstrate how it could be achieved. A quick overview of the video series. This is part 1, Introduction. In part 2, we will construct code projects from scratch on local machine, build the foundation. Part 3 is all about provisioning resources and getting them ready on Azure. In Part 4, we will put all parts together, deploy the app to Azure, get the app running. In Part 5, we will go beyond, talk about potential deployment options for on-premises and multi-cloud. Let's get started. First, think about the target system we are going to build. In this demo, the front end will be a single-page application built by React. It will communicate with the backend via REST API. It will be hosted in a static website. It's decoupled from the backend, so it will be your choice to use what UI framework. At the backend, we will have a REST API service using azure-functions. It will provide all dynamic data required by the front end. For the database, it will be Cosmos DB free tier in this demo. However, we will see how easily it could be replaced by a different database when needed. A quick list of software tools I'm going to use. All of them are free, open source, cross-platform. From my point of view, all of them are optional. It's perfectly fine if you use different tools. Visual Studio Code as a code editor, PowerShell Core as a command line shell, Node.js and React for the front-end development, .NET Core, Azure Functions Runtime, and Azure Functions Core Tools for the backend, Azure Command Line Interface to provision Azure resources, Docker to containerize the backend service. Also, I use C# to write the backend Azure functions. Other functions such as Python, Java, JavaScript are well supported by Azure Functions too. Ideally, you will need an Azure account to deploy the app to Azure. However, it can be optional as we will explore the possibility to deploy it to on-premises and other cloud platforms at the end of the video series. All the source code is available on GitHub. Please check it out. Also, a complete guide can be found on medium.com if you search Build a Full-Stack Serverless App on Azure. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.